What's up, you guys? Sean Ross at Fightful.com here with Drew McIntyre. Drew, how you doing?
Oh, fantastic. I'm in Toronto. This place is wild, for one, but it's also, Canada. Canada love their wrestling. The fans know what they're talking about when I've been hanging around.
You've been back in WWE for quite a while. You made that entrance into WWE and were kind of crowned the chosen one. Looking back, you think that was a gift, a curse? How do you look back on that experience of Vince McMahon coming out there and straight up saying, this is the guy?
Yeah, I don't regret anything. He's never introduced anybody that way, and I assume never will again. So that's just part of my history. I think no matter what, things wouldn't have necessarily worked out for me the way they are now because I wasn't ready for it. So the way I look at it is, when I get the opportunity and when the time is right and the right story, that moment and that run is going to be a significant part of the growth of my character. But first I need that kick-ass heel run.
Yeah. You had a lot of experience outside of WWE. You were doing a lot of different things. You were in Evolve, you were in TNA. You really changed and evolved yourself, no pun intended. At what point did that switch flip for you and say, I'm going to make some changes, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to come back in a different way?
When I got fired that day, I got the phone call. I was a little surprised. I think the person on the phone, I was a little surprised. The fans were a little surprised. But to be honest, there was no way I could logically transition into anything serious, and I don't think it would have panned out if I did. I think I had to go away, apply the lessons I learned outside of the non-stop WWE environment, because this place never stops and we're always creating content. It's very difficult to reinvent yourself, within this world if people know you a certain way. So the way I looked at it is, I got the call. By the time my girlfriend, now wife, got home, I'd already made the plan. I was going back to Scotland to give my mission statement. I was going to show the world who I really was and what I could really do. And thankfully things worked out. People gave me a platform to show who I was. And I started as, I'm going to return to the company no matter what, as a more polished performer. And by the time I was building companies around the world, I really considered, I probably will never go back to WWE. I'm making a difference. The WWE name sells the product, like Drew Galloway, Drew McIntyre, but my real name's Galloway. It's what was making a difference to all these companies around the world, and do I really want to go back when I'm making such a difference? And it wasn't until my TNA contract lapsed, my wife and I had to decide our next move, that I was thinking I was going to go to New Japan probably, because I really want to go there and really want to work there, that I got a call from William Regal, who's a bit of a mentor of mine, who told me we take a call with Triple H. We spoke and decided the next move was WWE and NXT in particular.
I love the story on Table for Three about how you developed the Claymore almost by accident. So when that happens and it was a bit of an accident, how do you refine something like that wasn't supposed to happen?
For one, I had to get those pants loosened so it didn't happen again. For those who don't know, I ran for a big boot. When you run and kick someone in the head, the pants were too tight. I was worried about the crotch splitting, so I kicked my other leg up, landed in the back of my head. But I also kicked Ryback in the face at the same time, and was told afterwards when I regained consciousness, wow, that kick looked pretty cool if there's any way to do it safely. So I watched it back and then worked on it and finally figured out a safe, effective way to do the kick, which became the Claymore.
Drew, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I appreciate it. We're out.